Good morning, everyone. This is Mike the Wandering Took, and it is time again for some Sunday morning Arkham. I'm going to continue the Amanda Sharp campaign through the Innsmouth conspiracy. This has already been really exciting. I do not play a lot of solo, so this has been definitely a bit of a learning curve, as evidenced by the fact that I had to redo the first scenario just to get a handle on how I was actually supposed to play and build her. And I think it worked out. I like that. I'm gonna if I'm gonna learn how to do this, I actually don't mind playing against the rules somewhat and redoing the scenario if it turns out that bad. So we're going to continue and hope our luck holds. And this scenario is a little scary. All the Innsmouth ones are scary, right? They either do direct damage or horror, or you're running around a map. And in solo, that's hard to do. So I don't know, let's see how far we can get. This is scenario 2, the Vanishing of Elina Harper. This is a flashback. However, lucky for us, we do have just enough. Let's see. So we talked to Thomas Dawson earlier, and we were allowed to spend our experience. So I earned 4 experience last game. I spent 2 of it on Unrelenting. I'm going to save the other 2 for more fun shenanigans later. In this scenario, this is a whodunnit. Whodunnit and where? We're going to be running around the town of Innsmouth, and we're trying to find the location where Elina Harper is being held and who did it. And there's a leads deck, and the only way to progress is to spend clues to dig through the leads deck just to see what's there. And every time I do, I shuffle it. And then at some point, I have to make a guess. And there's a timer on it. I believe it's the second agenda. I have to make my guess. And if I fail on both the place and the person, the game ends. If I get 1, well, then I kind of do it, but everyone's mad at me. And obviously, the better I do, the things get way better. The catch is that I have to draw a card every time I look in that deck. And the more clues you spend, well, then the more places, or the deeper you get to dig through that pile, to a maximum of, I believe, 3. Once again, this scenario, there's a ton of reading. I'm not going to go all through it. We do that on Monday Night Twitch, but I will just assume that most people know, or at least get the gist of it. Don't need necessarily all the backstory here. So we'll look at Agenda 1A, Decrepit Decay. If you defeat a suspect enemy other than the kidnapper, you get all the clues on that enemy. And then you record in your campaign log that that person is out for blood. 6 Doom Threshold. Act 1A, the search for Agent Harper. The investigators spend X clues as a group, reveal the top X cards of the leads deck to a maximum of 3, and draw 1 of them. Shuffle the rest back into the leads deck, along with the top card of the encounter deck. And I can do this once per round. Yeah, and this one, the only way to advance is to make your accusation. Things to keep in mind. The skulls are worth minus X. X is the current agenda number. Fine. There are 2 cultists in the bag. They're minus 2. If I fail, place a doom on an enemy. The tablet's minus 3. If I fail, take a horror. There is only 1 of those. And there's only 1 elder thing. It's a minus 4. If you fail, place a clue on your location. That's really bad. Really bad, because I'm trying to be efficient. Amanda Sharp's awesome ability, of course, is that every turn I get to... Actually, every turn I get to draw a card at the beginning of the investigation phase, and then I place a card underneath her, and that card is considered committed to every skill test. There's nothing wrong with that, hey? So, as usual, I will try to get the most bang for my buck with the cards underneath her. So, I guess without further ado, we'll begin. We start at Innsmouth Square. I can resign here if I so choose. I could also spend money if I want to move to an adjacent location. Well, that's handy. That move is a free move, by the way. That's why it's attractive. But 2 resources at the moment is a little steep at the beginning of the game. You're always trying to get set up. That 4 Shroud is looking rough. Well, let's draw my card. It is a shortcut. Okay. Well, my opening hand, I did have 2 things. A Dream Enhancing Serum, which lets me draw cards when I draw duplicates, and a magnifying glass, which helps with the investigation. Great. Practice makes perfect is always good for pulling out cards from my deck, and if I pass the test, I get to keep it. Shortcut is great because 3 moves are always good. Perception will let me draw cards. This is awesome for putting underneath you. And cryptic writing is useless when you draw it in your opening hand. When I draw it in the middle of the game, I gain resources. And that's going to become better and better as this campaign goes on, because I'll have better and better card draw options. At the moment, I'm still waiting on a few XP. So let's begin. I have to choose a card to place underneath me, and I'm actually wondering. So the benefits of playing this not blind is that you kind of know what all the locations do. I know that this one, you have all these locations that are out on the board right now. They do something beneficial, and then the later ones that I put out from the leads deck do something awful, but they're worth victory. And I happen to know that there's healing on this side, and there's card draw and money on this side. So I'm going to go this way to start. Now, what I can do, that shortcut might help me, might really help me out here. That 4 shroud's hard to get by. But I think I have the pips that I might be able to do it. So we're going to have some fun here. We're going to put perception underneath me. It's a bit of a gamble, because it won't be up by a lot, but we're going to do it. I will then spend $3 to get my Dream Enhancing Serum out. That'll be very nice. I will then spend $1 as a fast action to get my Magnifying Glass out. So now I'm a 5. I am going to investigate with my Cryptic Writings, which means that I am, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 on a 4. 0. Okay, so I didn't need to pitch that. That gets me a clue. Because I passed with perception, I get to draw a card. It is Obscure Studies. That's nice to have. So I've done 2 things. I am going to be sneaky, and I'm going to shortcut right now, because I still have perception underneath me. If I do an investigate action as my last action, I can gain more cards. All right, this is the one. For 2 actions, I can draw cards. That is really nice for Amanda. 2 actions is steep in this scenario, but that is really, really nice. I'm a 5 on a 1. This is really just a 1 shroud location. Guess we'll go for it. Well, 0. So that's my second clue. I get to draw a card for perception. It is another Dream Enhancing Serum. All right. That seemed okay. Well, let's continue on then. If there are no enemies on the board, we'll do upkeep. 1 resource, 1 card, Whispers in the Deep. So what that means is I am not passing any tests this turn, unless I pitch a lot of cards, which I don't really have right now. So there's that. That's going to change how I approach this turn. Let's put a Doom out. And my bad card is Initiate of Dagon. Spawn at any empty location. Well, Initiate of Dagon has no Doom on it. It gets +2 fight and +2 evade. At the end of the round, if the Initiate of Dagon is ready and there's no Doom on it, place a Doom on it. So I want to kill this thing, but I don't want to kill it right now because it doesn't have Doom on it. These things, yeah, that's how they work. They kind of sit there. They play against the kill it right now. All right, I can deal with that because it came out early enough. So my turn, hey. I have to draw a card and place a card underneath me. That's going to be Whispers from the Deep because I don't have a choice. Whispers from the Deep gives me -1 to all my skills. Lucky me. I'm sitting at a 1/1/1/1. Well, if that's the way it's going to be, then I'm just going to spend the 2 actions to draw 4 cards. Unrelenting, Curiosity, Cryptic Writings, Lab Assistant. Guess what? I gained $2 because I drew Cryptic Writings. I get to play it right away. And then that was 2 actions. For my last action, I'm just going to put out a Lab Assistant, which will increase my hand size, get me some Horror Soak, and I get to draw 2 cards, Promise of Power, and a Mind Over Matter. Really? No duplicates in all of that? Okay. Sure. So I couldn't do anything this turn, but I'm okay with that. All right, enemy phase. This enemy gets a Doom because it just does. Then we put a Doom on the agenda. And my bad card is a Crypt Chill. Okay. Test for will. If you fail, choose and discard 1 asset you control. Hey. My willpower is currently a 1. If I pitched this, what would I be? I'd be a 4. I'd be a 4 and a 4. I'd be dead even if I did that. So probably not what I want to do. I guess I'm. Look at my money situation here because I do want that second serum. Practice makes perfect would be all right, but what would it get me? It wouldn't get me anything. Okay, I think I'm just going to fail this test. I don't have a choice. -2. I'm going to lose my magnifying glass because I can always get pips with Dream Enhancing Serum, and that glass will come back. Okay, now I draw a card. It is an Unrelenting Dream Enhancing Serum. Will activate because I drew duplicate. Nihilism. I am a nihilist, so I don't want to draw the auto-fail token. Now I get to choose and put a card underneath me. There's a bunch I want to do here. I do want to kill that initiate. Definitely want to kill that initiate. Unrelenting is a really good skill. Okay, we're going to throw Unrelenting underneath me because I have to do a bit of everything this turn. That thing's a 3. How do I get up enough? I can always obscure studies. That's fine. Okay, I guess we're just going to see how this goes. Let's move into the Innsmouth Harbor. This is a Shroud 3 2-clue location. After I successfully investigate by 3 or more, I get to look at the top card of the leads deck. What an attractive prospect. And also, not going to happen. Well. So Unrelenting lets me seal 3 tokens of my choice when I initiate a test. If they're all good tokens, I get to draw 2 cards. I do not get to seal the autofill. Well, so I'm a 3. I think I might just obscure studies this. I know it's a weird way to use obscure studies, but I don't think I want to. 3, 4. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to use obscure studies. Let's not risk it. I'm up by 4. +1. Apparently, I didn't have to pitch anything. But the initiative Dagon is now gone. Oh, I didn't. Doy. I was gonna put the bad tokens on the Unrelenting. Either way, I drew +1. Whatever. That's gonna be something I forget all the time. I think this time I'm going to put in a bunch of really good tokens. That's what I got here. I've got 2 zeros. I've got the Elder Sign. And what, the +1? 2 is just here. There it is, the +1. So if I put, what is it, any 3 of these? Yeah, okay, so if I put these 3 tokens on, doing an investigate test, then I get to draw 2 cards. Promise of Power, and an Inquiring Mind. Nice. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Okay. I will then. I'm just gonna. Do I practice makes perfect this? I think I practice makes perfect this. That's why it's in here, right? Okay, so I have to find a practiced skill. Hey, you know what's a practiced skill? There's a Eureka and there's a Deduction. Deduction is really nice right about now. Which means I'm 3, 4. Let's go 7. Pitches Inquiring Mind, go 7. Seven, I drew a tablet. -3 is a 4. Okay, so I passed. I did not trigger the special ability. I didn't expect to. These go back in the bag. I get both clues for deduction, and deduction goes back to my hand, because that's how practice makes perfect works. That's really nice. Now I am going to, before I draw bad cards that make me discard all my clues, this is a free trigger that I can spend 3 clues to look at the top 3 cards of the clues deck, the leads deck, and they are 3 locations. Okay, so we got a Sawbone Alley, Innsmouth Jail, and the Shoreward Slums. I want to see where they're all connected. This one's connected way out that way. This one is connected, looks like in the middle down below, and then this guy is connected here. Okay, so that's really close. It's also a 5 shroud. But I can do that. Okay, so first things first, we gotta start marking some stuff down. Okay, we have seen the Sawbone Alley. We have seen the Innsmouth Jail. And we have seen the Shoreward Slums. So the hideout is one of these remaining 3 that were removed at the beginning of the game. Let's put the Shoreward Slums into play. So these 2 get shuffled back along with the top card of the encounter deck. So it never gets easier for you. And more you want to dig more clues at once. There's a bit of controversy. Do you want to, at the beginning of the game, do you just spend 1 clue to get the easy wins, or do you spend all 3? I'm erring on the side of look at as much of the deck as possible, because I'm more interested in getting this right than in farming the XP in a solo game. Comment if you think that's a bad idea. Let me know. Okay, there's Shoreward Slums. They come into play with 1 clue, 5 Shroud. But if you fail a skill test while investigating, you get to put a Doom on it. Lucky us, hey? If it has a Doom on it, its Shroud is lower. That sounds like a terrible idea. So I did my 3 actions. I'm done. Ready up. Upkeep. It is a Vicious Blow. Still have lots of room in my hand. Enemy phase, there are none. 1 more Doom on the agenda. And I have drawn another Initiative Dagon. Okay, so this is, again, I don't want to put this somewhere where I'm going this turn, because it has +2 fight and +2 evade. So I'm going to stick it at Fish Street Bridge. So we can go back that way. Now I'm going to want to hit a 5 this turn. So beginning of the investigation phase, I draw my card. It is a Magnifying Glass. Yes! Right. So what am I putting underneath me? I don't think it really matters. It doesn't matter, does it? I'm probably going to pitch that Curiosity to this test, because I'm going to want the skill pips. In fact, I might as well do that. I'll put Curiosity underneath me. Save the Unrelenting for now. use it next turn. So that makes me lots. Yeah, +3. So that's that leaves me at a 5. So I'm a 5 naturally now. I can spend $1 for my fast magnifying glass. That makes me a 6, which means I still have a promise of power really if I wanted to go nuts with this. I might do that. As stupid as that sounds. All right, we're going to move. We're going to put a curse in the bag. We're going to promise to power this. -3. Well, the only thing that I could have failed on was the autofill. So that is a clue, which means that's a victory. What I dislike... There are things in that deck that will make you drop your clues on your location. I could spend it now. Or I could draw cards. Or I could get money, because that Dream Enhancing Serum, the second one would be really nice to have out. That Initiative Dagon, though. I think I'm going to go over here. Then I'll be set up to do a couple things next turn. I know it's going to mean taking a horror this turn. I guess we'll find out how bad an idea that is. Okay, so end of my turn. I take a horror, or rather my lab assistant does. From the initiate, we then put a doom on the agenda and a doom on the initiative Dagon. And my bad card is Innsmouth Look. I get -1 intellect, -1 sanity, and the deep 1 trait. And I can do an action, 3 willpower action. If I succeed, discard the Innsmouth Look. Well. Okay, that seems all reasonable. I will draw my card at the beginning of the investigation phase. It is a mind over matter, which means I get to exhaust the serum and draw again. It is my dream diary. Unupgraded. I know. Trust me, we'll get there. We'll get there. Let's see. Those mind over matters are great. I don't need 2. Did I even upkeep at the end of the last round? I feel like I should have had another $1. I did not upkeep, did I? Okay. Right. So now something's got to go underneath me. Oh, my location. Missed a couple things last round. This is a 2-shroud location with 1 clue. That's it. I think that's very doable. I think I might throw the perception underneath me. Will just let me draw cards. I like cards. So that means I am a 4 book, 5 while investigating, -1 for Innsmouth Look. Yeah, I'm just going to toss this, or use this mind over matter. All right, using the mind over matter, I am actually lower than I want to be. Maybe I should have put unrelenting underneath me. That'd have done it. Why do I feel like I'm behind the 8-ball a bit? Like maybe I should be trying to get my second serum out instead. He's a 2-fight. Don't have many ways of getting beyond that. Yeah, I think I have to mind over matter. Okay, so we're back up to 3 There's not much to do here. I don't actually need this deduction right now. Or this deep knowledge. Okay, we're going to be up by... We're only up by 2. What is a cultist? If you fail, place a doom on the nearest enemy. Okay, good. And it's -2. So this thing is gone. I get to draw a card for perception. It is a practice makes perfect. Second action, I will investigate. Also thinking about what I'm going to do with this Innsmouth look here. Practice makes perfect. Can I pull out anything that will give me willpower? Probably not. I'm going to have to use one of my wild pips to get rid of that thing. So until then, I am a 4 on a 2, which is ugly. Yeah. But we do have a -2. All right, that gives me enough to spend 3 clues. Look at the top 3 cards of the clues of the leads deck. What have we got? Okay, so we have a thing called Furtive Locals, which is from the encounter deck. We have Brian Burnham and a New Church Green. Okay, let's erase Brian Burnham. And we'll erase the New Church Green. We're zeroing in on the location. I do not want to draw Furtive Locals because that is a treachery. I actually don't want to draw Brian Burnham either. Yes, he's got clues, but he's not worth victory. And then I have to deal with Brian Burnham. Although he looks easy, I have to... He goes into play at the grocery store. I have to discard cards from my hand with at least 3 total skill icons to parlay. I mean, that's really easy. It's just that he's worth no victory. And there's better ways for me to do things, like with this nice location, the New Church Green. That goes into play, looks like, up here, with 2 clues on it. Worth victory. If there are no clues on Church Green, I can spend 2 actions to look at the top card of the leads deck. If it does not have victory X, discard it. Interesting. Oh, so I guess if it's a treachery, it's something from the encounter deck. Oh, also I have to shuffle in a card from the encounter deck. Okay, so that's a way to thin out the deck a little bit if you're full of treacheries and villains and stuff like that. Okay, so the New Church Green is somewhere nice to go. I guess we're at upkeep. 8 cards. $1. Grab a card. It is Curiosity. And a Doom on the agenda. We're 5 of 6. And I draw into On Wings of Darkness. Test for fleetness. If you fail, take a damage in a horror, then you disengage from every non-Nightgaunt enemy and move to a central location. I am going to fail this. And I'm okay with failing this. It is a cultist. It is -2. If you fail, place a doom on the nearest enemy. There is no nearest enemy. I do take some damage in horror. I think that's going to knock off my lab assistant. Yeah, that's going to knock off my lab assistant. I can do that because I've got more coming. Beginning of my turn. Draw into a deep knowledge. And I have to put something underneath me. I think I might put the curiosity underneath me, actually. Just to give myself a way better chance at getting through Innsmouth look. I'm not going to be looking at the Dream Diary anytime soon because it's the unupgraded version. So that's a 6. I'm up by 3, is it? Cultist. Well, there are 2 in the bag. That gets discarded. I will then just move. Might as well, right? Pretty short and sweet turn. End of my turn. I get a resource, get a card. It's a second vicious blow. So I get to Dream Enhancing Serum. Draw again. It is Eureka. Now I discard a card from hand. It's going to be the Deep Knowledge. I don't want the curses in there right now. They're going to be the first things to get upgraded out. And guess what? We advance. Okay, the town of Innsmouth grows more hostile with each day that passes. People are catching on to me. So now I shuffle the set aside Winged One and Hunting Nightgaunts to the deck. These 3. The discard pile. I'm okay with that discard pile. I can deal with 1 hit point enemies rather easily. I am saving the vicious blows for some of the big ones that come out. I don't mind sitting onto them, sitting with them, hoarding them. Next up, I have to look at my campaign log because I need to check to see if a decision to stick together is under my memories recovered. It is, which means I get Thomas Dawson into play, and he doesn't take up the ally slot. I get +1 will and +1 fist. Okay, my character would prefer Elina, but that's fine. All right, so he's now hanging out with me. Okay, Agenda 2A, Growing Suspicion, the exact same forced effect. Or if I defeat a suspect enemy, not the kidnapper, I get all their clues. And I have 7 rounds to make my accusation. My bad card is an Initiative Dagon. They're everywhere, aren't they? We're going to go to the grocery store next. Going to the grocery. So we're going to put the Initiative Dagon there. Won't be attacking it this round. I get the power of Unrelenting, but I need... Okay, let's draw a card first to see what I need to put underneath me. There's a lab assistant, so I'll get my card draw up again. I have to put something underneath me. And whatever I guess how many things am I doing this turn? I'm probably doing 1 test and putting stuff out. Maybe I get some money. Let me have a look-see here. Both of my cryptics are in my discard pile, so if I draw cards, I'm not going to be getting money. I do want both those clues from that deduction, so I'd rather put something underneath that gave me the pips I want. Unrelenting will definitely do that. Let's throw the deduction underneath. Because if I'm only doing 1 test, I might as well at least give myself the option, if I fail, of doing more. My turn begins. $3. Let's put out a Dream Enhancing Serum. This Eureka does very little to me for me right now. Kind of too bad. Same with the Practice Makes Perfect. A 4 on a 3. I do not like those odds. Let's I want these both in one go. Then I might just sit here and grab money. If I just pitched both of these, the Eureka and the Practice Makes Perfect, it is a 0. Okay. Again, didn't need to, but I wanted to be up by more than 1. That means I grab 2 clues. The Eureka means I pull a card. It is a shortcut. I will also take a horror because I have now cycled through my deck. We've got Initiative Dagon there. Thinking about next turn, I do have a Promise of Power if I absolutely need it, although I did like my Unrelenting trick. With 2 Dream Enhancing Serums, I might just do that now. Which means I'm going to want money, because I'm going to want to put out my lava systems. I think this is all good. So that was 2 actions. For my last action, I'm just going to take $1. End of my turn. Everything readies up. I draw a card. It is Promise of Power. I get to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do get to draw 2 cards without taking up my, without forcing me to discard a card. Second Magnifying Glass, Obscure Studies. All very, very good. There are no enemies. Well, the Dagon enemy is here. Initiate gets a Doom. Agenda gets a Doom. My bad card is an Innsmouth Troublemaker. Spawns at the location with the most clues, and it is a hunter. Yeah. I can place one of my clues on my location to parlay and exhaust this thing. Do you have a Mind Over Matter? This would definitely be the turn to use it. I think this is just the way we go. That is a 4-fight enemy. And if I Vicious Blow him, I can't use Mind Over Matter, because Mind Over Matter doesn't use your fist icon. It turns it into a book test. Location with the most clues. I can choose anything I want, but he's going to hunt. I'd rather deal with him now than later. But I also want to get my Lava Assistant out. So he's going to go really far away, because he does not accumulate Doom. He'll catch up soon enough. Beginning of my turn, I draw a card. It is Curiosity. Well, this is exciting stuff. I get to choose something to put underneath me. Again, I'm looking at this and probably, you know what? No, we're gonna remove deduction. We're gonna play this the way the deck's meant to be played, which is drawing a whole bunch of cards, throwing Unrelenting underneath me. So action 1, spending $2 to put a Lab Assistant back into play, drawing 2 cards. There's another shortcut and an Inquiring Mind. This is all very, very good stuff. I will shortcut for my first action. Well, my first non-action. Sorry. Yeah. This is part of action 1. This is a Shroud 3 location with 1 clue, and I can search for an item. That does very little for me. And a single clue. This Initiative Dagon is now engaged with me. I would love to. What am I? I'm a 3. This puts me up at a 6. Fight. Oh, sorry. Unrelenting. I see the problem with Unrelenting. in that you have to keep looking through your deck or looking through your chaos bag to find the things you want to seal on there. All right, let's seal all the good things on, which lets me draw cards. Perception, Dream Diary. And what did I say I was? I was a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I am a 6 -3 by 1, which means the initiative Dagon is dead. And these go back in the bag, but I'm going to do that again because this is a 3, and I'm really good at investigating. I mean, maybe I obscure studies just to get Unrelenting back in my hand. Why not? I've got lots of cards. I got what I want. Then I can Unrelenting next turn. Let's do that. So I'm a 3, 4, 5. That mag glass will come in handy next time. 7. 7 -4. Grab that. And I get to draw a card for Perception. It is a Cryptic Writings, which means I can play it immediately and gain 2 resources. I like that. I like that. Okay, that's what this deck was supposed to do, is I was supposed to actually draw into your Cryptic Writings. So this is good. I get to spend my 3 resources. Sorry, 3 resources. 3 clues to look at the top 3 cards of the deck. And what have we got here? We've got Brian Burnham, who we've already seen. Furtive Locals, we've already seen. But we haven't seen the Esoteric Order of Dagon yet. Which means we know the hideout is the house on Water Street. I don't like that we have 5 suspects to choose from still. That makes me hurt a little bit. And this location gets put over here with a single clue on it. Just a moment. Right. That one says, after the last remaining clue is discarded from the Esoteric Order of Dagon, remove the top card of the leads deck from the game without looking at it. Yikes. Yikes. I mean, it is what it is, right? Suddenly that new church green is looking really attractive. There's what, 4 treacheries in here now? 3? 3. And that is the end of my turn. Well, this guy moves once towards me. He hunts. I'll have to deal with him at some point. I gain a resource, draw a card as per upkeep. This is a Deep Knowledge. Don't care about Deep Knowledge right now. Got lots of cards in hand. Doom on the agenda, 2 of 7. Drawing into Hunting Shadow, Peril. You must either spend a clue or take 2 damage. I don't have a choice, do I? Because I just spent all my clues. And beginning of my turn, I draw a card. It is Curiosity, which means I get to exhaust both Dream Enhancing Serums to draw 2 more cards. It is a Mind Over Matter and another copy of Unrelenting. This is insanity. I love this deck. How on earth am I going to get into that new church green? Or am I going to... Okay, I almost feel like I have to get lucky. I don't need the cards right now. I don't need the card draw. So there's no point in putting Unrelenting underneath me. I have lots of money. I'm going to spend 1 fast to get a second magnifying glass out, because the Dream Diary isn't really helping me much at the moment. I've got a whole bunch of get out of jail free cards here for enemies. So I'm going to be probably just doing one test. Probably. Unless I want to use more shortcuts. I feel like the shortcut's going to be really useful when that enemy starts getting closer to me. So I am just going to put curiosity underneath me. I will move once. I am a 7 on a 3 plus 1. Yep. Now I remove the top card of this deck, this card from the game, and I do not get to look at it. Watch, it's going to be one of my suspects. You know, in most of my games, it's Zadok Allen. He seems to be the one. Wonder if he's still. That leaves me with another action. I'm getting out of here. We are going to go to the little bookshop. First, if I fail a skill test while investigating the little bookshop, shuffle the top card of the encounter deck into the leads deck. I don't want to fail a skill test here. 2 clues. So this is, what, my last chance? Because I'm going to get 2 clues here, which will give me 3. There's going to be clues on this guy. It can't be any more than 2. If I draw another location, I could put it into play. But odds are I'm not drawing locations. I guess there's going to be one enemy in here, an enemy that I could steal clues from. So I'm only peeking at the leads deck once, maybe twice. All right, this guy starts moving. He's getting closer. End of round, upkeep. It is a practice makes perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm still good. These lab assistants and dream enhancing serums are so darn powerful. Another doom on the agenda. My card is a false lead. If you have no clues, you can search. I do have 1 clue. I test for book. And for each point I fail by, I place a clue on my location. That's actually not bad, because I'm full of stuff right now. I wonder. I think I'm going to practice makes perfect this. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, that's basically looking at my whole deck, just to see if that's right. There is no deduction here, but there is perception. That's all right. So perception gets committed to its test. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on a 4. 7 minus 4 is 3. I fail by 1, so I have to drop my clue. Because I failed, perception goes away and doesn't come back to my hand. Well, boo. Boo. What a great turn to have drawn into deduction, eh? Well, okay, beginning of my turn, deep knowledge. So I get to exhaust the dream enhancing serums to pull 2 cards. It's a practice makes perfect and another lab assistant. I am at my max now. So I have to put a card underneath me. I don't want to fail skill tests here. I have to do 3 book tests. So I'm going to put my second copy of Curiosity underneath here. I don't have my deduction. This is just 3 raw tests. I don't need all these pips either. So I'm a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm a 7 on a 2. There's no point in pitching anything. Minus 3 gets me clue number 1. Skull, minus 1, gets me clue number 2. Minus 4, what do we say, it was a 7? Yeah, that is a pass. That's my whole turn, but I do get to spend them to look at the leads deck. All right, we have Athera Gilman, Savo Nally, and darn furtive locals. Either it keeps popping up near the top, or I have thrown all of them in this deck. Okay, so we've axed out Athera. I have to draw something, hey? I guess I'm drawing Sawbone Alley, which conveniently is really, really close. I'll rearrange the table in a moment. Getting a bit crowded here. Also, I haven't even been utilizing Thomas Dawson. I've totally forgotten he's there. Okay, Sawbone Alley goes underneath this location. Can you still see these? Yeah, we can still see them. Yep. It has 2 clues. Victory 1. Each humanoid enemy at Sawbone Alley gets +2 fight and -2 evade. Okay, you know what's really awesome? Not drawing that the turn that an Innsmouth Troublemaker is going to engage you. Hey, hey. Speaking of, he does move once towards me. Let's put him in the Gilman house. It's time to get rid of him. I will then do my upkeep. Really, Whispers from the Deep. Well, that's unfortunate. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I do have all my necessary cards. So I'm going to be down a lot on this guy. That's really unfortunate. What's my card? Hunting Nightgaunt. All right. All right, if you say so. Beginning of my investigation phase, I draw a Eureka, and I have to put Whispers from the Deep underneath. Where to go from here? I'm almost out of this deck, which means I'm actually okay doing some things like cycling through my Vicious Blows, which I feel like I have to. So with Thomas Dawson in play, I am a 2-fist. So do I throw? I think I throw the Unrelenting. No, so Whispers from the Deep is there. I think I might end up pitching Unrelenting just to get rid of some of these bad tokens. Might even Promise of Power. Yeah, I think I might have to Promise of Power this. Wow, 4, hey? 4 hit points. Double Mind over Matter helps, but I can't do the extra damage. Okay, I need to Vicious Blow this guy. We're gonna Vicious Blow. Promise of Power. What does that get me? This gets me 2, 6, 7. That gets me up by 4 if I do this. We're gonna throw a curse in the bag. Skull -1. Okay, that is 2 damage against this thing. Great. Yeah. I want to do that again. Do I really want to risk it with another Promise of Power, though? It's Vicious Blow again, so this puts me up to 3. This would put me up to 4. I'm gonna do it again. I'm doing it again. -4. So that is dead even, which is enough to kill the hunting Nightgaunt. Yeah, that slowed me down a lot. Wow. And now I have to prepare myself for an Innsmouth troublemaker. Oh, plus I was up 1 from Thomas. Yeah, we're all good. Maybe I go in there and I just evade him. Yeah. He's either going to land on me. I don't want to delay this too much because I do want to try to get those last clues and peer at the deck one more time before this thing times out, which means I have to get rid of him. So we are going to evade this guy. Can I evade this guy? I'd be sitting at a 1, 2, 3 on a 2. Good mind over matter. I don't want to use up all my tech this time, but if I have to, I have to. Or I just move in there and let him hit me because I can actually soak the damage. Yeah. That's the way it is. Or I double pitch unrelenting to seal the bad stuffs. What if we just went all in? What if we just went all in? What would that do for us? What would that do for us? If we went all in on pips, then what would that let me do? That would let me start sealing things. I could seal this guy, who's bad. I could seal, what's the tablet? The tablet is -3. That's a pretty bad one. And I could seal a curse. And then I could seal the -3, the -4, and another curse on Unrelenting. One, two. So just to be clear here, this puts me at a 2. That's a 4 on a 2. Nerve-wracking. -2. I took out almost everything that was bad in that bag. There was 1 curse, and then yeah. Okay, so he's evaded, and I also get to draw as per Eureka. It is a cryptic writings, which means I get $2 more. What a great little happenstance. I also am going to take a horror for decking myself out, and that is the end of my turn. That was nerve-wracking. Oh, I should flip over Gilman House. 1 clue, and I can heal 2 damage or 2 horror, or any combination thereof. Limit once per game. Oh, nice. What are the odds I'll draw into a vicious blow? Okay, and a round upkeep. Get a resource. I draw into a shortcut, which means I get to turn enhancing serum twice. Vicious blow. Thank you. That's why I didn't feel so bad spending them earlier. I knew I was going to get it right back pretty quick. The Innsmouth Troublemaker is once again engaged with me. We have 5 Doom of 7, and I've drawn an Initiate of Dagon. That's going to Sawbone Alley, where I'm heading next. Beginning of my turn, I've drawn into an Obscure Studies. Whispers from the Deep is finally gone. What a rough go. What a rough go. And think I put a vicious blow underneath me. Yeah. Just a vicious blow. That's it. We're going to... Oh, man. I'm going to practice makes perfect. Let's look at the top 9 cards of my deck. Because if I can pull out my second vicious blow, which I can... Hi. Okay, that card is now one of my favorite cards in the game. For that little maneuver. So that puts me at a 4, plus Thomas Dawson is a 5, plus Obscure Studies is an 8. Eight minus 1 is enough to take out the Troublemaker, and I do get to pull Vicious Blow back to my hand because I succeeded. And this is really good. Do I just pitch 2 Deep Knowledges? Let's investigate. Minus 3. I was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Minus 3 is up by 1. I get one of these. And I have 1 action left. I'm going to heal my 2 damage. So, this is my last round before I have to make my accusation. I draw. Promise of power. Yeah. Oh, wait, no. No, I have to make my accusation now because this initiative Dagon is going to get to. Okay. Wow. Well, we do know that the house on Water Street is the hideout, so I'm guaranteed to get one of the 2, which means the game is going to continue. The suspects are Barnabas Marsh, Zadok Allen, Joyce Little, and Robert Friendly. It's always Zadok Allen, but I'm not going to choose Zadok Allen because, no, I won't. It's never Barnabas Marsh. It's too obvious. Of course it's going to be a Marsh, right? Let's go between Joyce Little and Robert Friendly. Let me ask my wife. Who do you think did it? Robert Friendly or Joyce Little? You think it's Friendly? It's in the name. Okay. All right, we're going to find out. It is the house on Water Street, of course. And Joyce Little. Boo. Okay. Well, I had a feeling I wasn't going to guess this one perfectly. All right. So that was the accusation, right? I was supposed to read a bunch of stuff first. So I reveal the suspect in the hideout. If so, we've revealed them. I do get to continue the game. I have to flip over the Finding Agent Harper card, which means I have angered the citizens, and we have an angry mob on us now. Hunter, Massive, Retaliate. This thing has 8 life, but he can't make attacks of opportunity. And he's massive, so he's not going to follow me. They're not going to follow me. So this, I could just run away from these guys. You just don't want these guys to be sitting on you. That's good. Okay, so then I advance directly to the set aside Act 3s and Agenda 3s. So this one, again, a 7 Doom threshold, exactly the same forced effect if I defeat a suspect enemy other than the kidnapper, yada, yada, yada. But that's not going to matter because I don't believe there is a leads deck anymore. Yeah, the leads deck is completely gone from the game. Completely. Act 2, the kidnapper loses aloof, gets +1 health, cannot be parlayed with, and I have to either put the kidnapper in the victory display or get every clue off of that location that they're on at the hideout. So I put the hideout into play, and the house on Water Street is connected to these two. It's on the other side, which I suppose I could have guessed. It gets an additional clue per player. Forced, after you successfully investigate the house on Water Street by 3 or more, either draw the top card of the encounter deck or shuffle it into the leads deck. Well, that's rough. Place the set-aside Elina Harper story asset underneath this location. She is hiding the house on Water Street. Spawn the suspect that was there. This is now the kidnapper. There is no leads deck, and I may continue with the game. Let me see. I want to see which lead was discarded randomly. Barnabas Marsh. Yeah, it was one I hadn't seen. Okay. Well, I don't think I'm... Well, that thing gets a doom, because it's the end of the round. I do take a damage in a horror, or rather Thomas Dawson does, because of this angry mob that's at my location. I have a reasonable amount of victory right now. 1, 2, 3. How greedy do I want to be without a deduction on me? Oh, plus the humanoid enemy there gets lots. No, we're gonna beeline it. Okay, so that was the end of the round. Time to upkeep. Relenting. Resource. Doom on the agenda. Drawing into an initiative Dagon. I don't like this at all. I mean, at this point, I'm basically saying, you know, do I fight Joyce Little or do I get all the clues? We're going to put her here, just so I have the option. I don't like that I basically have 4 rounds to do this. Beginning of my turn, I draw a card. It is deduction. Well, that's just sealed the deal, hasn't it? And I get to put a card underneath me. I think all I'm doing is running. All I'm doing is running. So we're just going to stick a Dream Diary underneath me, because that's not going to be doing a whole lot for me at the moment. We're going to get the heck out of Dodge. 1, 2, 3. Heck, next turn I can shortcut it to there. Start deducing. Oof. Oof. This is getting tense. Okay, the enemy phase. This enemy moves. This enemy gets a doom. We put another doom for the Mythos phase. Give me a moment here. I first draw into a practice makes perfect, and I gain a resource. Now I draw my bad card, and it is a Hunting Shadow. I must either spend a clue or take 2 damage. Fine. That is what healing is for. I draw a card. It is Curiosity. Yep. We're going to throw Deduction underneath me. And I'm going to shortcut my way into the house on Water Street. Hi, Joyce. Don't mind me. I'm just going to do a little investigation. Let's look at all the bad things that are in this bag. There's a -4, -3, a curse. I think I'm going to leave the -3, but take out the squiddy. Yeah, because of course I'm pitching unrelenting to this test. Where do I put that? I'm going to put that here. Pitching unrelenting, putting on 3 bad tokens, because I would prefer not to fail this test. Okay, which means I'm a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on a 1. What is this? -3, which is a pass. 6 -3, so I succeeded by 2, and because I did not succeed by 3 or more, so I don't have to draw the card, but I do grab both clues. The cost of me doing that, of course, was Thomas Dawson taking some more. And finally, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. I can pitch Curiosity. Take another horror for an attack of opportunity as I investigate again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on a 1 is a 0. I did get that extra clue after I successfully investigate. So what's... Do I draw or do I advance? What's the... I mean... I'm just going to do this forced effect anyways, because I can. Oh, look. Crypt Chill. I'm just going to fail this test. It is a 0. Yeah, so I'm going to lose my, one of my magnifying glasses to that Crypt Chill because I over-investigated this location. I get to advance because there are no more clues on the house at Water Street. Agent Harper gives you a warm smile of relief as you untie her bindings and help her to her feet. I don't know who you are, but thank you. I did have things handled, though, for the record. Yes, I see that. She chuckles at her own joke. Despite her situation, the agent carries herself with the confidence of one who has been in deadly circumstances before. You introduce yourself and tell her you were hired to help find her. Well then, I'm very glad you're here. You came in the nick of time. Now, if you don't mind, I have some unfinished business with this associate of mine, she says, her voice sharp with indignation. Care to join me? So because Joyce Little was the kidnapper, I go to R4. Might as well read this bit. Despite her situation, Joyce does little to resist you once you have her restrained. She seems resigned to her fate, her gaze elsewhere as you question her. Believe me, if I'd had another method of getting you to back off, I would have used it, she says to Agent Harper. But you're getting too close, so I did what I had to be done. I don't understand. Too close to what exactly, Miss Little? Harper asks. There's a secret at the heart of this town. A secret that brings us wealth. A secret that brings us power. A secret that brings us closer to our destiny. What kind of secret is that? Harper probes. Joyce smirks and shakes her head. What makes you think I would ever share that with outsiders? Because you assaulted a federal agent, and if you don't tell me what I want to know, your destiny is going to be the inside of a lonely prison cell. You watch Ms. Little's confidence shatter. She gulps down the last of her pride. A bead of sweat drips down her forehead. It started with the order, she explains quietly. And we earn victory X. X being 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty darn good. The mission was successful. I get to record that in my campaign log. Then I go to the syzygy. Again, it won't go through a lot of this, but I get to add Elina Harper to my deck if I feel like it. Elina Harper costs a whole lot of money. However, +1 book, +1 fleetness, I can get behind that. I think I need to start gunning. Well, I need to gun for a lot of stuff, but one of them is the Miskatonic research funding, so that I can get 2 lab assistants and an Elina Harper out. That would be really, really nice. And then next scenario would be Into Deep. All right, there you have it. This was a lot of fun. I'm starting to get the hang of this now. And it does feel weird with some of these cards that I rarely use. Like I haven't used Mind Over Matter this scenario. Maybe I did once. The Vicious Blows I only used once, but I needed them. I really, really needed them. And if they weren't there, I would have been absolutely toast like I was in the first game I played in this series. So I will think about my experience, look at Dream Diary, look at some of my other card draw options, and I will see you again next week. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.